It is. It's podcast day. We're excited. We're digging out there. What have we got? Ooh, yeah.
Dude, it's fucking podcast day.
Takes you back to that time of when you remember what you were doing when you first listened to that album, or
What is going on, you champions? That's right. Yes.
What up?
Podcast day. Two dudes talk music. Yes, and stew. I've been stewing on this shit all day.
What is going on?
Yes.
It's that time. It's that time. Podcast time. Yeah, spill the beans, man. Spill the beans. We want it. We want this. The exclusive details.
Dude, so happy. How are you?
Mate, I'm alright. I'm fucking exhausted because I've been picking up some work and stuff, but you know, we're getting there. We're you know, getting along. It's kind of happening. It's kind of happening.
That's
Slowly.
The main thing, slow and steady wins the race at the end of the day, man.
Slowly. I now have some work instead of no work, which is, you know, a better
Exactly.
situation.
Exactly.
So let
And
me
it can
just
only
let
go
me
up
adjust
from
this
here.
camera down. Hang on, let me turn this camera down a little more.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go. That's a bit better.
Well, man.
So you can see my shiny WrestleMania
yeah,
t-shirt.
Well, I'm rocking my Gymnark gear, my Hours of Neptune.
Oh, very nice. Very
Loving the
nice.
red, you know, just something bit different from the black, you know.
Yeah, no, more bands need different color stuff. I tell you what, man, the job I picked up, I'm working in the warehouse at Berserk, and if something's not where it should be, trying to find it is impossible, because everything is black clothing wrapped in, you know, shiny shrink wrap with a tiny little fucking faded label. And it's like, if it's not where it's supposed to be, forget about it. Like, it's
No.
but no, it's good. It's good. It's a good job. The people there are awesome. It's nice being able to just hang out in well, not hang out, but like just chill out in comfortable clothes all day and just walk around the warehouse picking orders, and you know,
Welcome to
it's
the
pretty good.
world of logistics, man. I've been there for nearly
Yeah.
20 years, and it's hasn't done me wrong that so far. So I've got to say,
Yeah.
congratulations. Welcome to my world.
yeah, it's a change. Look, I've had cushy office jobs for way too long, so I'm weak and soft, and hopefully this will beat me back into shape
No,
somewhat.
but it's good, man. You're up. You're moving. Moving is like, it's like sitting down is the new smoking now. You know what I mean? It's like if you sit down too long, it's just bad as smoking a cigarette. You know, pop
Yeah,
a vape.
yeah. Well, you know, you enjoy it while you can. Enjoy them while you
Exactly.
can. You won't be able to get them anymore soon.
That's it. I'm gonna stock up soon,
All
dude.
right.
Well, go.
Yes,
Go, give
let's
me the
go.
intro. Let's do it.
Let's go, man. Let's go. We got to get to our guest today because this is a friend, someone that both of us have known for a very, very long time. He's been an integral part of the Sydney music scene for, longer than probably most of the people that we've ever had on the fucking podcast.
Yeah, Addy was in my first band I was ever in.
He
high
was in
school.
your first band. He was in A World Less Cruel. He was in Do I Scare Ya? He has done a whole bunch of amazing stuff. He's directed music videos. He's fucking done
book shows.
so much shit. Book
promoted
shows, fucking just about any aspect of the music industry. He's touching it in some way. So
Yeah,
this
this
is a
guy's
good one.
Legend.
Let's
He's a
get him
legend.
on. This is legend is right. The man, the myth, the legend, Buzz, mate. How you doing?
Hey, hey, hey. I wouldn't say legend.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a person. But
Legend.
legend?
Yeah, legends never die,
Biggest
man.
biggest of ledges.
Yeah, big, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Well, thank you. Hi, old
Thank
friends.
you.
Oh my God, I haven't
Yes.
seen you in ages.
And now the new judge for the Wacken Australia New Zealand
Finals. Yes.
It
Congratulations.
was totally unexpected. I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
You
cool.
don't get
I'll
asked
do
if
that.
You're not a legend.
Yeah, I mean, did they just randomly reach out to you about that? Is that something that they've been kind of talking to you about for a little while? Like, how did
Uh,
that come together?
Well, it pretty much stemmed from the Overdrive touring company that I worked for, and the guy who ran it, and he actually runs the metal battles for Australia, and yeah, he just asked me out of the blue, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll do that.
Awesome.
But you know, it all comes with everything that I've pretty much worked for throughout all these years of music that I guess came to this point. And you know, they saw something in me, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
That's great.
It's
That's
well
so good,
deserved
man.
too. So well deserved. So well deserved.
Yeah.
And are you excited for to see all the bands and see what they
Well,
bring to the table?
I've intentionally not looked at bands because I want to go in with a fresh mind, and I don't want to kind of be like, oh, this band's cool, that band's cool, or this band not so much. Like, I don't want to go in with that mindset already there. So I just want to be there on the night, be present, and just go with what I feel. So I think that's
so what you're saying
that's
is
fair.
you don't take bribes.
Yeah.
But
But that's a good approach.
No,
That's
that
a good
is-
approach.
that is
Like
very
you don't want to bring any unintentional bias with you or anything. So that's a
Well,
smart
look,
move.
to be honest, there is one band that we've actually had on some of our shows before, Deprivation.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna. I haven't seen them in a long time, so I'm gonna go in fresh with that too. Who knows? They might have changed over the years, and yeah. So that's probably the only one. But yeah, I'm gonna.
What night is that on, by the way, just for the viewers out there?
Oh, it's this Sunday. It starts at the doors open at 4, and it'll go through till about 10 o'clock at night. And we'll sit there with our little worksheets or whatever we have, and go through all the criteria and make sure everyone's on point with everything. And that's how we'll decide our winner.
Maybe Beer Buddy will make a day trip. Isn't that at the old Stag or the Crowbar?
Crowbar, yep.
Yeah.
So Crowbar.
Yeah.
Might be a little day trip for Beer Buddy on Sunday.
Shout out to Crowbar.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Crowbar.
that'd be awesome.
For
That'd be
anyone
awesome.
out
Go down
there-
and cover it.
For any of the bands out there, I take bribes of beer, and I will tell Buzz to.
Well, you can't bribe me with beer because I'm on blood pressure medication, and it's probably not good to mix the two. So
No.
Yeah, no. I'd hate to see Kyle and fucking Ben from Deprivation get together on the piss. That'd be some trouble right there, I tell you.
yeah, he's a character.
I love it.
I love him.
I
Love
I
Ben.
might pop my dad down there on Sunday. Hey, I might just let's go. Yeah, excursion time.
Yeah,
Do it. We can
That'd be
anchor
good.
it.
absolutely. Yes, get some footage,
Get
do
some
a bit
footage,
of coverage of the
yeah.
event. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, well, good luck with that. I really hope the show goes well.
It will.
And if you're not doing anything on Sunday, get down there, check out go support all the bands, because every band that's playing this show deserves to be playing this show. And I think every band that's playing to have gotten this far in the competition would be a worthy winner to perform and represent Australia at Wacken, just like our boys in Lycanthrope did last year. Again, congratulations to those boys. And their new EP that
That's
just
right,
came out
they
as
won
well.
It. They won it last
Can
year,
I just
and
say that?
I saw footage of them playing over there, and they did an amazing job.
Mate,
So
that
cool.
new EP as well. Ooh, it
Oh,
hits.
and the artwork on that new EP is just absolutely
It
fire.
is.
Like, I love that.
Stoya. Oh,
Great job.
oh.
But yes, awesome. So let's go. That's what you've got coming up shortly. Let's go back. Let's go a long way
Ooh.
back, way back.
I feel like I need a.
Yeah, I actually almost cut my finger off yesterday.
What the hell?
Doing what?
Yeah,
What
did
happened?
you do?
Tell us what
Oh.
happened with that.
Well, see, I was at home with Hadley because she had a bit of a fever and she didn't end up going to school, so I was making lunch and I was cutting up some onions with my new Stanley knife and yeah, almost took my finger off. I got stitches in it.
Ooh.
Because,
Ouch.
yeah, so it's pretty much sliced in half all the way around here.
Oh, why were you cutting onions
Damn.
with a Stanley knife? Like, were you bored?
I don't know. I just wanted to try the new knife, and yeah, it looked like a murder scene here yesterday.
Oh my god. That's why you use the appropriate knife for the job, Buzz. That's
I
why
got a
Stanley knives are
cool
tool knives and kitchen
finger
knives
out
are
of it.
kitchen knives.
You got a good
Yeah.
wagon finger. It's a good wagon finger for the kids. I told you.
Yeah, if we keep wagging their
Don't do
face with that.
Yeah, that's a good
Don't-
wag. Yeah, get a good wag on that bad boy.
I
So
told you. Sir.
you guys used to be in a band together.
Are we gonna? Okay.
A very horrible
A
band.
very horrible band. I was a shit guitarist.
Hey,
Karen
look, it
on
was
the
fun
other
at the
hand.
time.
Karen on the
It was
other
in your
hand
little
was a
garage out the back.
No, it was Karen. Oh, there, that was mine.
So-
yeah.
So let's go. How old were you guys at this time? Because we
Oh.
need to get to that kind of context. To
Okay.
You know, it actually, me meeting Kyle predates me joining the band by, I don't know, a matter of weeks. I was a DJ, and I DJ'd at Kyle's mum's birthday
You did.
through, he's like, oh, he comes up and he's like, oh, do you have any Slipknot or Metallica? And I'm like, I'm not that kind of DJ. I do have all those albums at home, but I don't have it tonight. And it's kind of, I felt bad, but that's the very first
Yeah,
time
that was
I
my
met
mum's.
Kyle.
I think my mum's 40th.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. But then by chance, one of my good mates who lived up the road from me, he's like, oh, my friend's looking for a singer in their band. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go meet him. Who is it? It's fucking Kyle. I was like, wow.
what are the odds?
So I'm like, yeah, and then so
It was
it's
a.
like, oh, sing these songs. I'm like, oh, I don't like singing other people's lyrics, but you know, whatever. And yeah, they
Didn't we
like
play
me.
that?
I stayed.
Didn't we play that show at Little Lynn's birthday party?
We did our one and only show.
Our one and only show.
Um,
Our one and only live
it
show.
was fun. Like people were getting into it, but then there was one song where we just like completely messed it up, and everyone you could see the room just change. Everyone, because like everyone's like, oh, jumping up and down, and then all of a sudden it's like,
Yep.
like, what?
Do you remember what the band was called?
Oh, I feel like this is going to be good.
Oh, it's terrible. It was Demelic, I think it was called. Yeah. And I don't even know what Melik means.
I don't know either,
But
but Karen
the
came up
D-
with it. Kez came up with
the-
it. That was all Karen.
The D represented so many things, but the one thing I think now is the D meant delusional. Because we thought we were the shit, and we weren't.
The funny thing
It was-
was,
Wow.
I actually had this conversation the other night.
you
with my,
I remember that song.
oh God.
You remember that one?
I don't. I don't remember any of them.
Don't you ever touch me again.
It's just-
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
It,
It was bad.
it was so bad. It was, but you know, the thing is, Karen was such a good guitarist,
Oh, he was amazing.
and I think he's living in the UK now, working for APRA or some junk over there.
Yeah. I think he went over to New Zealand for a little bit, and then he came back, and then I don't know if he's back or not, but we used to do Splendor trips.
I remember that was.
Remember?
I bumped into
you up there.
Did you
didn't
remember
we?
where I ran into you?
Yeah, I remember running
Right out
into
the
you
front
at
of the
Splendor.
pisses. We were both standing waiting to take a piss, and it'd been
That's
no
true.
shit.
I was
It had been like
I was
10,
like a kid,
10
and
plus
yeah,
years.
we was like, oh my god,
It was fucking
that was so
crazy.
good.
It-
I was so off chops.
so was I. I got
I
busted by
remember,
coppers that morning. No,
Yeah, I
no,
can't remember. If it
No, that was
one,
day
but
one.
like,
Day one, I got in. That was the year Block Party headlined on day two. Or day one.
I can't even remember.
Yeah,
I was fucked the whole time.
But that's the thing, like, so
Like, I don't
I'm
I
37.
don't know if it was that particular Splendor, but I was so fucking off my chops that I walked into the VIP section unknowingly, and I turn around and I'm like, oh, there's Janet from Spiderbait, Chris Joannou from Silverchair, and yeah, then next thing you know, the security guard jumps in front of me and he's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I am. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I don't know if it was that one, but that was just a memory I had from when it was.
Oh,
Was
every
always
Splendor
smashed
was a
up there.
blur. We were always, oh yeah. I only ever been to
I've
one,
been
but
to so
I
many.
came home with a koala tattoo in red thongs, smoking a joint and drinking a VB that I got in Yimbin that weekend.
Wow,
Yeah,
it works.
I love that tattoo. But man, look, so I met Brian when I was probably 16, 17. So it's been 20 years now. This year will be about 20 years.
Are you sure it was that long?
Yeah, bro. I met you. You know how I know this? Because I'm sure there's got to be a statute of limitations on this. We used to get Brian to buy us alcohol.
The secrets come out.
That was the best thing.
secrets
That
come
was the
out.
best thing about having a singer. That was we thought we were the shit. We were not. We were not. And I had this conversation with my sister-in-law the other day because I went to go grab my old acoustic guitar.
I'm gonna. Is Kez older than you?
Kez is my age. He's only
no.
older by a couple of months.
You guys must have been 17 or 18 because I remember doing a HSC performance for Kez.
Oh no, Kez was a year older than us. Kez was older. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure Kez was older. But yeah, we used to get Brian to buy us alcohol. It was only a 6-month period because we were like 17. Would have been 17, nearly 18.
Yeah.
Because
I
didn't we
did,
meet through Christy Lee?
That bitch. Fuck. She broke so many hearts, didn't she?
Yeah. 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 Good handful.
She was great. But yeah, no, I just remember performing at Kiz's HSC doing "Losing My Religion" by REM.
And my amp wasn't plugged in. And Karen yelled at me, scolded me. I put the guitar down after that.
I forgot the words. I don't listen to REM.
Yeah. He played the fucking mandolin.
He did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's just the type of guy he was.
He was.
He was special.
He was something special.
Yeah.
Like, this is full shit.
That was a lot. Do you know what's funny? I still have all the video footage from our little times in your garage.
Never show that to anyone ever. I'll pay you money to take all of that.
I won't show it to anyone, but please
Kyle
send it to
with
me.
his long hair and
Please send it to me.
No.
Please. I need to see that.
I used to be such a head fan from Korn. I used to do my hair in the plaits, just like him. He was my idol, man. I had the shitty undercut, and he used to do the plaits. One year, I went to Big Day Out and I had the plaits in, and I didn't put sunscreen in the parts.
Oh no,
bro! It was a 40-degree day. I got 2nd-degree burns all in the parts. It was that bad. My fucking head blistered. Bro, when I was taking my hair out of the plaits, it was nothing but fucking pus and hair. And it took about 2 weeks for it to heal up. So you know what I did the next year? I bought a hat. I put the plaits in it. I put my hair in the plaits. And then I worked out where the holes would be, like where the plaits would, and then I cut holes in the fucking hat, and I pulled the fucking plaits through.
You did the Corey Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh man,
dude, yeah.
Wow.
Me and Brian have been to so many concerts. Like when we were younger, like probably from 18 to 20 something, we went to so many concerts and shit together, and a lot of shit happened. And then a massive group of us broke up, and then it was more of a really sporadic thing that I would bump, but it was always at shows. I'd see Brian naturally because we always had the same taste in music.
Seriously, it's so weird you calling me Brian. He calls me Brian. What are you doing, man?
I always have.
Fuck you, man. I thought you were cool.
I just do it to you all the time because you hated it.
Yeah.
Buzz.
Kyle.
Yeah, I know. I hate that now. I hate that one now. It's Peabody. Oh, but dude, like the amount,
Whatever. I
the
don't
amount,
care.
of, but like you're even after things happened with us, you played with Tensions Arise for a while. You done so much within the music scene. It was unbelievable. You were booking shows. You were doing promotional stuff. You were just so busy. You did the Do I Scare You stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was, how did you find
I
out?
don't know. I don't know. I just love music so much, and I knew I always wanted to do like. You wouldn't believe, but all those "Do I Scare You" songs happened like not long after we did our thing. Like I was,
Well, you had the
yeah.
Llama song.
Well, it actually originally started out as Smelly Koala because I was I was a courier at the time, and I was like doing a lot of drives to rural areas, and quite often, I was over my CDs because I played them so many times, and I wouldn't get any radio because the rural areas, like reception was terrible. So I'd find myself singing these stupid little ditzy tunes in my head, and yeah, Nicole, my wife, hated me because of that. Because I'd call her up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, listen to this. I came up with this thing. And then I'd hang up on her. And I was like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, I fucking hate you. And yeah, so I've had those things for like a lot of those songs for a very long time. And they actually didn't come to fruition till after A World Less Cruel. And when we broke up, Evil Ugly had like split, and I was talking to Scott, and I'm like, I have this stuff I've been wanting to get out for the longest time, and that's when we came up with Llama Llama Ding Dong, and that was a time. It's so stupid.
I'm gonna play that video clip at the end.
I don't even know where it came from. Like, a lot of the songs, like I said, I was driving along, and I saw a sign, Koala Crossing, and it was like smelly, smelly koala, and then I came across the llama farm. I'm like, oh, that's it, llamas.
Well,
So
because realistically,
the
like
llama song was gone.
because the Do I Scare You songs are basically like if you kind of took the Wiggles and mixed it with Tenacious D. Like realistically,
Yeah.
like that's probably
I kind of likened it to sort of like Sesame Street cross GWAR.
yeah, that too. Like it's basically you take a kids show and some kind of like comedy metal, or like tongue-in-cheek rock and roll stuff, and that's basically what it is. If you've not heard it, you need to fucking find it because it's online, right? It's out there on platforms. Yeah. The album's out there, so just look up Do I Scare You, and it's like Llama Llama Ding Dong. If you can't find it from the name of the band, search that.
Oh no,
the band name.
No. Stick around at the end of the stream. I'm gonna play.
And Carl's gonna play the video at the end when we finish. But it's well
I
worth
must
listening.
say, though, I'll tell you that the Llama Llama Ding Dong video clip is the demo version. It's not actually the album version.
Oh.
Yeah, the album version has a lot more recorder parts in it, and it's just a lot cleaner and sounds nice.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the idea of you kind of doing the concept album and putting it out there and having, like originally the idea was just the one live performance, right? Like that was
originally there wasn't going to be any show because
oh wow,
I mean. To begin with, it was just me and Scott, and we got together with Adric, and he recorded the song for us, and then we put it out there on the interwebs, and everyone was just like, "Oh, this is fucking hilarious! We want more." And then Attila came on board because he's like, "Oh, I want to play bass, or I want to do something. Give me something." So he jumped on bass, and he also did the garden gnome. He was the garden gnome in the show. So that was fun. And then next thing you know, we're like, let's make this an actual community project where we get all different people from different bands to come in and do something cool with this concept of because all the songs were based around this crazy farm. So we got Ace in from Nasjap, we got Mark from he's actually in Adric's other band, Muftava. Yeah, and he played the ghost of Grandma, and a bunch of other people. Zach, oh my God, Zach,
the Scarecrow,
the amazing Scarecrow. Yeah, and we even had Barnsley come in and do some like little synth parts in
old mate Paul is the tractor.
Paul. It was fantastic.
Man, I gotta tell you, I don't think I can ever get the image of Ace in the fucking alien like
head to toe spandex
out of my fucking like it's just burned into my memory forever, for better or worse. Like,
but you know what? When we did this album, like I was sitting there with Adric and Scott, and we we're like, could you imagine if we made this into like a full stage show? Like, and we're just brainstorming all these ideas, like having a llama on the stage and, having, the alien. And it was just something like we thought, we have to do this. Like, even if it's just one show, we have to do this.
Well, Gangbusters it ended up being two, didn't it? You did one.
It ended up being two because a lot of people missed the first one, even though, like, we packed out that place for the first one.
You did.
The second one, everyone was like, we missed it, we want to go. And I was kind of worried because we went up against Blinks last night, which like, oh fuck, no one's gonna come. But we managed to like do pretty well on the second show too, and then everyone just went to Blink afterwards. So it was a good time. And we tried to get a second album going, but COVID got in the way and all these other things, and had all these lyrics, and then my phone got crushed by a car, and I lost everything. So I don't know, Christmas album maybe. I don't know.
Hey, look, start, mate. There needs to be another one. There needs to be more, definitely. I think
I'd love to do more. It's just
you guys.
Please do a Christmas.
You
album.
guys are so talented.
And do a Christmas album,
dude. Even if it's just a song, even if it's just one Christmas song, you know what I mean? I'd say your Christmas song.
Look, we've always brainstormed. Like the second one was going to be Under the Sea. We had talked about doing maybe like a haunting kind of one, like horror movies, that kind of thing. But that was kind of all. It's all been done before, but I've always had my mindset on a Christmas album at some point.
Yeah, just mate, do so do Under the Sea one, right? And make the Christmas stuff. Do like, there's so much you can do, but like pick. Fucking, I don't know. They do like a fairy tale one, where it's all like the Disney like fairy tale tropes and stuff. And then,
that was another thing we talked about. We were gonna do like some Disney covers, but metal them up or something. But that really didn't come to fruition either.
I mean, it's a cool thing that I think you guys could easily do intermittently, right? You just doesn't, because it's not something that lends itself to constant live performances. It's something you're able to go, all right, look, this year we're going to do one, right? And then you spend your time working on it and recording it and getting the, people to do their little bits and pieces on it. And then you release it and you put it, and then you maybe have one live performance or one or two live performances, right? And I think, it's absolutely a project that, I mean, I would love to see more from it. I know just about everyone that's heard it and seen the shows and listened to the stuff, I think would want to see more. Australia's own Tenacious D, basically.
Alice Cooper.
I'd certainly love to do more. Just getting our shit together, basically, and seeing if paths align, because look, we've got a lot more going on than we did at that time. So babies and COVID and illness and and all of this kind of stuff. Like, it's just, there's just been so much that's been crammed in this part of our lives that I don't know. There's just so much going on that we We don't even know if it will ever come to fruition, but I'm hopeful. I'd like to. I'd
Maybe
like to
just
get the
on
core group together again.
Mm.
Gareth, I'm looking at you.
maybe
Patrick, I'm looking at you. Attila, come on, man. Let's do it.
I'm sure if you know what, I'll message him for you. I'll relearn the guitar and play.
I mean, that would be nice. I think, you know.
I would love to see that happen. I think with the creative bug that you have, it's so infectious. Like even when we play together, you always just make people want to create when they're in a room with you. You have that infectious thing where you just got so many great ideas. It's great. It'd be I always say whenever I speak about Buzz, I'll say the Alice Cooper of Sydney.
I think. Well, see what I think is amazing is you know, the authenticity. Like the whole time I've known you, you've always only ever been you. You've never tried to be anyone else. And even though the Do I Scare You stuff is kind of tongue in cheek, it's done seriously. Like, you know, you're serious about having fun with it. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a silly thing, and it's just having fun with it. And you know, like a lot of metal elitists would probably look at something like that and be like, "Oh, it's fucking stupid. Like, why'd you do that?" But that's because you're you and you want to have fun. And you just want to have fun making music with cool people, and you know, it's just one of those things where
in
yeah,
a sense, like,
absolutely.
You know, I've had that passion pretty much with everything I've done in music, you know, whether it be putting music together or putting on shows, like, you know, but you know, a lot of it wouldn't have been possible without all the people around me, because, you know, like I'm just one person. I can't do it all on my own. Like Jizz was a big factor in a lot of the things I did. And you know, we put on a lot of shows together, and you know, she was my bestie, and we did everything together, you know, like we put on so many cool shows. And then to even have her come up and sing when she's not a singer and do the Do I Scare You stuff, that just blew my fucking mind. Like, I love that bitch.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Still
I
is.
did.
You know what the weirdest thing is? It's like getting older and shit like that. It's such a weird thing in a sense that so much has happened in the past and you've done so much, but we're still not done.
I'm not done.
No.
Like, look, I feel like I had only just started. Like, you know, I started this touring stuff, you know, at the Stag, and then all that went to shit, and then had some saving graces of the Overdrive magazine come and like pick up all my mess and really help me and push me further into the direction that I wanted to be in. And we did some incredible tours, and I traveled around the country and met a whole bunch of amazing people. And you know, like, I'm not done. Like, I feel like there was a distance between us because Overdrive was actually in Melbourne and I'm here in Sydney. So I kind of felt like there's a bit of discord there. And it sucks because, you know, I don't really want to pick myself up and move down there, you know, especially when I had all this stuff going on in Sydney. And yeah, but I definitely like to keep doing it. I don't feel like I'm done yet. Yeah, there's definitely more to come.
It was really weird when I walked into the Stag one night, and this is when it was still the Stag, because it will always be known as a Stag to me. Like I'm that old fuddy duddy now. It's like, it's a Stag. It'll always be the Stag. When I walked in there and you were on the door booking the show, and I was in the new, like I was in Exist Within, and we were actually doing some shit. but you were I hadn't seen you in such a long time, but you were still like Raph said, still Buzz. Like you were still the
Yeah,
same
man,
humble
like-
person. Like, how hard has that been to sort of push through with everything that you've gone through with bands and the in and outs and just trying to remain that consistent?
Look, I think you know, things change. You know, people go through their own life stories and whatnot, and like, you know, at the time you went through your stuff then, and you know, I always said to you that whatever happened there has nothing to do with me, and I'm still here for you, man. Like
Yeah, I love that's what I love.
and, and I don't know if you took that well because I still talk to some of the other people at the time. I don't know, but
I never
now
had
it's
any ill will.
yeah. Like I just wanted you to know that
Yeah.
that you were still a huge part of my
So
life,
full
man. And
disclosure for anyone out there, I dated I was dating the bass player at the time. It wasn't a very good breakup. It was a very bad breakup. It was a very bad breakup. I'm not going to say what happened, but it was very bad. But one thing that Brian was a good friend throughout that whole thing, and still is. Like, no matter how, you know how they say a good friend, it doesn't matter how often you see each other, but when you see each other, you picked up exactly where you left off.
Mm.
And that's the definition of a good friend. And that's how it's always been with Buzz. And that's what I love. Like, you're so humble. You're the most consistent bloke I've ever met. Nothing, no matter what is going on, it does not change the presence that is Buzz when he's around people. And that must be a very hard thing to do. Yeah, you're a fucking gem, mate.
thanks, man.
The impact.
I mean,
it's impact.
Speaking of this stag, like I don't know if I ever actually gave you due thanks for, because when I think you were still involved with the booking of stuff when I did the Heavy Metal United show that we've talked about on the podcast a couple of times, I think, and there was a ton of dramas around, like it ended up getting double booked or something, I think, and then like you sort of helped to coordinate moving the other show earlier to be an all ages show so that our one could still be on in the night and everything. And like, I you know,
Yeah.
like it's the fact that, because like, yeah, I think if you hadn't been involved with it, I don't think it still would have like happened. I think it just would have, one of the things would have ended up getting cancelled because that was right around a changeover, if I'm not mistaken, in
Yeah.
who was
There
booking what.
there was a lot of mediation that I need to do in a lot of those processes, especially when the new guys came in. God, that was a time in itself. Yeah, the guy was a bit of a dick.
And yeah, so like, I mean,
Actually,
that show.
not just a bit of a dick. He was a fucking cockhead. I'm gonna say that.
You can.
Right,
and,
Don't
he-
fly,
he
my
just-
friend.
he
This
just-
is a safe space.
He just ruined a lot of shit for a lot of people, robbed
Mm.
people of a lot of money, and they were my friends. And I was so pissed off and so upset for all of them that I went out of my way to just, you know, do everything I could to make things right for them. And you know, even though a lot of it was lost, you know, just trying to remain calm and, you know, still hold my reputation through that entire thing, because he royally screwed everyone, and I felt so betrayed. And yeah, it was just a hard thing to overcome, but you know, got through it in the end. And yeah, everything just, you know, as soon as he left, I was like, everything started going, and I'm like, I know he's going to be watching from afar, and I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah,
fuck you guys, fuck you guys.
Because the shit that went down there, like you say, that fucked a lot of people over.
What
Oh,
exactly
not
happened?
just-
Okay, so
it was bands, it was people who worked there, it was people, the suppliers. Like there were times where there weren't
So
even beer
what
on tap.
what
Like it was
exactly happened in this whole scenario? So there was a double booking during the Heavy Metal United thing.
I think that was when the
Um,
guy came in, but the other issues came
yeah,
around
this is
later
the
on.
yeah, this is like it's kind of we're talking about like two intertwining
Okay.
things here.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just saying I had to pick up a lot of slack through
wow.
faults of other people, and it was tough, but we made it work, which was good. And I had a lot of great support to get me through all of that, because there were times where I'm just wanted to like throw it all away, because people can be horrible.
But I think that comes back to the fact that, like we've talked, like I said, you're always you're always genuine and authentic, and you always want the best for everyone that you deal with, and if you're involved in a situation, then you want to see the best outcomes for everybody. And I think that, like, people notice that, and
Jude can vouch for this, and I don't think many of you guys know that. But when we put on shows, that we barely take a cent for ourselves, and we made sure all the bands got some money back in one way or another. We very rarely took anything for ourselves, and that was just a big part of it for me, because being a promoter and being in a band, you can see both sides, and how it's kind of like, you feel like in a band you get screwed over by the promoter, or whatever, and then but being on the other side, you're like, but you're putting all this work in, but what are you getting out of it? So it's kind of a weird sort of balancing act there. So I don't know, I was just like, at the time I was just like, I'm doing it for the love, and I love these people, and I love what I'm doing. It's yours.
Well, at least you weren't one of those shittier promoters that used to sit in the pokey room and try and, win the band's cut of the night. CJ. But
what are you
Mate,
doing, man?
that guy already doesn't like me. We don't need to add fuel to that fire.
or was a really bad one. Oh, that cold, man.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that
The old-
cold.
Fuck it. Lee was a fiend for it. Lee was bad. You remember Lee?
I can't comment.
But
there because I've
look,
never-
I
I've
can,
never had any-
because there was one thing. Like, I used to like playing the pokies back then, and when I used to walk into the fucking pokey room and see the promoter sitting there, or the organizer sitting there, and I'm sitting there watching him pump 50s in there or tenors, and I'm just like, man, what are you doing? And we'll work something out later, blah 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 blah. And they fucking, you have those promoters that leech off the fact that you just want to play shows, and you were never one of them.
Yeah.
But it was a different time, fucking 15, 20 years ago. I don't think you can get away with that these days. Social media will fucking destroy you.
Definitely not. Yeah. But in saying that, I never had any issues with them. Like I played shows for them, and they were always good to us. So
No, I never got paid.
oh, sorry, man.
I was happy to not get paid though. I was happy to play shows. I was gagging for it.
Oh yeah.
It was different
But
time. But I didn't know the
Through
big
good
olds.
bag.
That's as a
Yeah.
no, it will. Like, hey, at the end of the day, like it is what it is, man. I'll go, like, yeah. But just don't
I
say.
wanted to ask you about. I wanted to ask about. You mentioned a little bit earlier your band, A World Less Cruel, and
Ooh.
look, you had some good fucking shit, man. You had some great fucking songs. You guys put on a really,
Yeah.
really good show.
I could never hear myself half the time, and then when I look back at the footage, I'm like, oh my god, I sound terrible. Yeah, but no, we did some really good stuff with The World Less Cruel, and we were picking up, like
Absolutely.
I don't know, there was some kind of weird snowball effect happening, and we like started getting like a lot of people coming to our shows, and it's just like we don't even have a demo. Like, what's going on? And and then we went through that whole Battle of the Bands process, and next thing you know, we're playing to a packed house at the Metro, and we're like, what the hell is that about?
I wanted to ask about that because that was the Emergenza competition. Was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Because I heard a lot of different takes about the Emergenza competition from different people, and I mean, you were, obviously you went through there. You got to was it the Australian final or the
we got to the final.
The Australian final, yeah.
We came in the top 5.
Because wasn't Witch Grinder on that as well?
No. I don't think so.
Maybe not the same year. I don't know. Because they ran a few different years.
Because I remember being on that Emergenza one year, back in the Exist Within days. And
it was,
played at uni. I don't know if that was the same year as you.
Because I remember there was a lot of people talking, because it was a bit... Was it a bit different from a standard Battle of the Bands thing, the way they ran it? Because elements of it looked a little bit pyramid schemey to me, if I'm being honest.
All the way up into the final, it was all purely fan based. So pretty much. If you had the people there, you were guaranteed a spot through. No matter.
You had to get bums through. You had to get bums on seats.
It was all part of the voting system, really.
Yeah.
Which, to a band that's actually good, that doesn't have a lot of people, that's kind of shit. But
to a band that doesn't recognize the fans that want to come out and see you.
Yes, but it's crazy though. We actually made a lot of money off those shows. As just from ticket sales, because I think for the final we ended up selling something ridiculous, like 280 tickets.
Wow!
And I was like, and I remember just walking out on the stage and seeing this sea of people with bunny ears, because of the whole juju. We had this bad juju thing going, I was like, what the fuck is happening? But we came in the top 5, and it was just. I remember the host saying, "Oh, please don't riot," as if we're an aggressive band and we're gonna storm the stage or shit. We don't play that way.
Fucking stereotype.
Them saying that, I knew we hadn't won, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
A guy sitting there playing guitar and in the didgeridoo, of course he's going to win.
Man, you know what? I don't know if I ever told you this, but obviously, I had the bunny ears for that show. I was at that.
There is a video of you with those bunny ears on.
Yeah, but so I had the bunny ears, and I'd covered them in, for anyone who doesn't know, I basically bought bunny ears, covered them in silver duct tape. And I was completely shaving my head at the time. So I had them on my head, and then I wrapped duct tape around my head. So I could headbang with the bunny ears on. No. Now, I hadn't considered the fact that when you apply duct tape, it's a bit stretchy. And then once it's on, it kind of, the whole point of it is that it pulls in tight and compresses. So I had this fucking bunny headband that had wrapped into my head in tape that was literally crushing the sides of my fucking head like a vice, to the point where I had to, I think it might have actually been Scott. Was Scott there? Did Scott go to that one?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think
I actually might have. I think I've actually might have gone to Scott and said, "Man, can you help me get this fucking tape off my head? This thing is crushing my fucking skull." And,
I think by the end of it, you just had the headband.
Yeah, I took the tape off because it was just crushing me too much.
Yeah, because there's actually a video of someone in the crowd. It's on YouTube, and they're
That's
filming the show from the crowd, and all you see is you with your little bunny ears there in the headband. You know, it was
Yeah.
cute. Cute,
And look,
man.
you're kicked ass at that fucking show. I mean, you're kicked ass every time, but like especially at that show.
That show was such a blast. I couldn't hear anything on stage at all because all you motherfuckers wouldn't shut up. Yeah, that's awesome. It was such a good feeling, and you know, even though we didn't get to go to Germany or whatever, that was one of my favorite shows ever.
Hold on.
It would be because that's a venue that you would have seen. Like anyone that likes music in Sydney has seen at least a couple of bands at that venue. And for you, to then get to perform on a stage that you have seen bands that inspire you perform on, like it's always a special moment for anyone. Whether it's that stage, whether it's Tensions Arise getting to play at fucking Manning Bar, or whatever it fucking is. Like the size of the venues doesn't matter so much as you've seen people that have inspired you to play music at these venues, and now you're getting to play on that same stage. And
Very true. And it was just so special to see just a sea of so many familiar faces and friends in there, just there to support us. Like that was something I'll take with me forever.
What would be what was the band called again? Sorry.
Oh, please don't. I don't want to plug them.
I just want to see. I just want to see the tape on Raf's head.
don't worry,
okay.
it's
I'll send you the link later.
yeah, it's there, but it's pretty full on.
If you look up Animal and Remedies, and then I think the title is A Hill of Beans.
Yes, that's the YouTube page.
That's the live, the 2 songs from the live show, and at the very end in the Remedies part, you'll see Raph in the crowd with his like little.
Yeah, it was. Look, you guys fucking smashed it, and I really think that. I mean, but we all know that heavier bands tend to not do that well in battle of the band situations unless they are specifically a rock or metal event.
Battle of the bands.
There's always that bias away from heavier music in these situations because despite the fact that it's been a thing for 50 fucking years now, people, and especially people that are like music critics on like a broad spectrum and people that are judging these events still don't take heavy bands as seriously as they should, unfortunately.
In a lot of countries.
A lot of the rock and heavy bands though have outlasted so many of the pop artists out there. So
Yes.
I think they need
because we do it for the love. We do it for the love
and
and the passion.
What? Proof is in the pudding. Fucking Voyager, they are. They're a prime example,
Yep.
That metal can do something.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, look, Slipknot has headlined Download Festival, and Download is in the UK has shifted away to more just like of a general music festival. But they still have the heavier bands like headlining it most of the time, and
fucking have the best time in the crowds, my man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you see him with his little bunny ears?
No, I haven't. I'll find it later.
We'll watch it. We'll watch it.
And
we'll watch it after.
The end, the camera kind of pans to the crowd, and then
Well, I'll find it.
I mean, I'm gonna try and bring it up with no sound on and see if I can see myself with it.
It's towards the end.
I'm literally. I clicked through to about to 6 minutes and 48 seconds.
I can't find it.
And it's literally me with the fucking things with the horns up there.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link at the time code. I'll send you a link at the time code, man. It's
Can I put it on the video?
Oh my god. Oh god, no, please don't. Please don't. But I'm sending you the thing.
You can do that, and then you can see the videos that Buzz has of me with my long hair, and you don't show anyone.
Oh, but
It's so bad.
That,
They're
yeah.
they're on those little mini DV tapes. I'm gonna have to get them converted somehow.
Don't ever get them converted.
Man, oh, all right. Well,
Let's get into
uh,
it.
yeah. Why don't we go to our first segment? Let's do the quick question quarter. If Kyle's ready to hit the cutaway,
I am. Let's do it.
hit the
We
cutaway.
didn't actually talk about me taking over you intentions, and then I gotta say,
Oh, all right.
I feel like I was set up because I feel like I was set up for that role.
By who?
I just gotta say because I remember Ash and Kaz came over to my house one day and they're like, "Happy birthday" or something. It's a bass, and I'm like, "What are you hinting?" And they're like, "Oh, nothing."
See, look, I had
There
no
wasn't
say in that
any-
decision. That wasn't. I had no say in that decision. Like, I think
It's funny because it was your bass, I believe.
was it? No. It wasn't. It wasn't. I had organized. I'd helped to source it, but it was
Or was your amps maybe?
my amp. I think you got my amp, one of my amps, but the bass used to belong to fuck. I can't remember his name now, but he used to play in Vendetta of the Fallen or something. Ben something, I think, was the cunt's name. I can't know. I'd have to go digging through stuff to try and find it now. But no, it was someone else. Like because they'd been talk about a little bit of inside baseball here on this one. So I had basically, when Tensions went to America, like obviously, we all put every cent we had into that, and what that left me with was a lot of debt, right? Like I'm talking like tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt by the end of it all, because I kind of had some debt beforehand going into it, and then this happened, and it was like, all right, so I had to just use every bit of credit available to me and every cent I had saved to make the whole thing happen, and digging myself out of that was a very slow process. So in 2013, when the guys started talking about, oh hey, like we want to maybe go look at going to do Japan and all this kind of stuff, I was like, I can't fucking afford that. And that wasn't the sole reason. I like there was a lot of issues that had been building up for a long time between myself and certain other members, and there's been a lot of discussions, private discussions, resolving all of that, which I'm not going to go into the specifics around it, but the sort of the financial issue, and when they started looking at that, like that kind of made me realize, like financially, I'm not in a position where I can do stuff that's going to help move the band forward. Like if we want to keep taking these big steps, it's not something I'm going to be able to do, and I don't want to hold the guys back because I believe in the band, and the songs were good, the band was good. There was like every opportunity, every chance the band was going to go somewhere with it, and I didn't want to hold them back from that because of my own financial issues. And as I said, on top of that, there was a number of other things happening that were tied into that as well. And so I kind of had the night about it, and I kind of had the conversation with Kaz first, which was, hey, I don't think I can continue with the band anymore. There's a number of reasons, and I don't want to hold you guys back from doing other stuff. I'm happy to stay for as long as you need me to sort of help find someone new and teach them all the stuff and everything. Your name was thrown around, was sort of brought up as a, hey, why don't we talk to Buzz? And like I don't know at what stage things, like I kind of thought they had talked to you about it already, like, that they asked you about it. This is news to me that they basically just presented you, because that's why I helped sort out the bass, because they're like, oh yeah,
they presented me with a bass, and I was like, oh, thanks. And they're like, you could do this with this, what you will. Like it's just a present. It's just a present. You don't have to do anything with it. And I'm thinking, okay, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, and
Pretty
I
good
mean, at the
vibe.
time, I was a good fit because I wasn't really doing anything. And
Yeah.
no, I actually had a lot of fun with them doing it. So, I mean, I'm not a bass player. Uh, I am very simple man when it comes to bass. And yeah, I don't know. I got the job done.
Yeah.
I did.
But
And
a
we
lot of the stuff about being in a band is like the personalities have to match, and personality wise,
we're
like
all a little
you've known
family
Ash for
anyway,
fucking for you've known Ash and Kaz for forever, so it
Yeah,
was gonna be an easy fit that way. It was always
yeah,
gonna be an easy fit that way. So I think the bass playing skill was kind of a secondary concern at that point, to be honest.
yeah,
After the fact that there'd been a lot of personality clashes between myself and certain other members, I think the focus for them was on, can you play the stuff? Can you play it well enough? Yes. Awesome. Are you not going to be getting in arguments with people all the time? Cool. Yes. Let's get you in the band.
Um,
You know,
even though we did,
yeah,
I had my own things, but more often than not, we were good, and that meant for a fun time, and we had
yeah,
some crazy fun times. Um, there was a time before where I was actually merching for you guys,
yeah.
and
You were kind of helping out on the road and stuff too.
yeah, one of my one of the biggest memories in my mind, man, is of you in Perth.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna come up. I knew that was gonna fucking come up. Fucking
Oh my
hell.
What
god, that
happened in
was
Perth?
Me
that was
almost
horrible.
breaking my fucking nose.
It was
Was it
fucking
on
horrible,
someone's
but
hand?
fuck, it was amazing, man.
No. So okay, so we were in we went to Perth. Tensions went to Perth to play a show. Somehow we scored this show, and it was like two grindcore bands, and then us, and then two grindcore bands, because
I was
apparently
like,
Perth is like
death
Death
fucking
Fucking
cunt.
Cunt was the headlining
Yeah.
band. So, um, you know, and because apparently Perth is like all grindcore. So, um, but we had the thing, and we wanted. We were like, hey Buzz, do you want to come with us for this thing? And, like, I think you knew someone over there that like organized transport for us as well, or some shit, which made
Yeah,
it easier as
Tim.
well. And
Yeah.
and the venue was at like a pub that had actual hotel rooms, so we stayed at that pub as well. And basically, because we had nothing to do, we just got drunk, or we just drank all day.
I've got the image playing in my head, and I was just
And
like, oh,
we got,
what?
they and look, the fucking pub was kind enough to, because we booked like two rooms, but that was still one bed short. So we said, look, can we get like that's they basically gave us an extra mattress for someone, right? And long story short, you get a bunch of dudes with nothing to do, sitting in a hotel room, drinking, dumb shit's gonna happen. So we started, and I've told this story before. This is a new story. A lot of people know this one, but basically we started wrestling, um, and that led to me falling and very nearly breaking my nose on the edge of the coffee table, because I came down and it landed right across here, like right across this part of my face, right?
And all you
And
hear this loud bang, and then
this is video footage of this. There's video
and
footage
then
of
there's
this.
me going, oh fuck.
And like it happened, and I've kind of sat up, stunned, and looking, and then because I was like in shock at first, and then I see like blood dripping on the floor, and I was like, fucking, oh no, like fucking went to the bathroom. I had like blood running out of my fucking thing, and
Yeah, I was
like
kind of like
my eye, yeah.
fucking up
So like,
there.
yeah, so I got fucked up by this thing, and this was what, like 3 hours before the show was meant to start.
Yeah, and you had so many questions before you went on stage. I remember
Yeah,
everyone was up,
yeah.
like, oh.
And I basically like
You played,
I,
you
I went
shot
on
in
stage
cuffs.
with my face was like all fucking thing, and then like we had the same flight crew both ways, right? So, and look, if you've traveled as a band, or with a band, you know that bands are usually identifiable as bands when they're traveling. Um, or at the very least, you're like, it's a group of lads. So you tend to kind of get a bit silly and have a bit of fun with it. And on the flight over there, we kind of got talking with some of the flight crew, and they were like, "You guys in a band or something?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, we're in a thing." And we had the same flight crew on the way back, but on the flight back, it was the flight was only like 1/3 full, so they had fuck all to do. So anyway, like the day after the show, when we had to fly back, like the eye was pretty much swollen shut the next morning. Like full on China, like massive black eyes, swollen shut. And obviously, flight attendants have a certain decorum that they have to maintain when interacting with customers. So we're on the plane. The guy spots us after he's done all of his stuff, and we're in the air, and he's walking around the cabin and everything. He comes up, and he's like, "Oh, hey guys, how was the show? What the fuck happened to your face?" And like, when we get back to Sydney, and it's like, because it was like winter, right, when we did this show, I think. So I was like, we get back to Sydney, and it's the evening, and it's dark, and I've got my fucking like sunnies on so that I'm not getting stares from my black eye walking through the fucking airport. But then everyone's staring because it's nighttime and I'm wearing my sunglasses
But you're in a band,
as I'm
so
walking
that's
through
okay.
the airport. But yeah, that was yeah. Thankfully, I hadn't broken my nose, but we were worried that I might have.
How was the show?
I know.
The show was
I-
it was a show. Like what? Like
yeah, it was
you know,
fun. Yeah, it was still fun.
it was. I mean, it was always fun to play a show. I think people just liked. I mean, well, people said they liked us because we weren't grindcore, because they're like everything over here is so pretty much every metal band over here is doing grindcore because we live in fucking Perth and everyone's pissed off as fuck about it. So hearing, getting something different was good, but
But
yeah.
sorry to say, man, the highlight was definitely your face.
Look, I can laugh about it now. Man. But I've still got. I think if I,
man, it's just the timing of it all. It was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I can still feel like the indentation in my fucking orbital bone from that thing. Like,
did you even get it checked out?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. That's rock and roll, mate. That's toxic masculinity.
Dude, I didn't have time. I had a fucking show to play, and then I had a flight home the next day. I had no fucking time to get it checked out.
Hell fucking yeah.
Like,
sorry, I'm just here laughing at your pain.
No.
If I look,
that's a G
if I'd
story.
gone to hospital, to get it looked at, we wouldn't have been able to play the show, and so the band would have been pissed. And and then the flight, missing the flight the next day wasn't an option because we had to get home. So like, I don't know if I had a concussion or not. I don't fucking, who knows? But
it's rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, I just hope I didn't drain my damage. Anyway, yes. Let's get to the quick question quarter and move on from me almost fucking breaking my nose.
Let's do it.
To know you.
Sorry, man.
Nothing to be sorry for, man.
Yeah,
it's all good. It's all laughs now. It's all laughs. It's all good. I can laugh about it now.
Until you start hitting with the questions. Now it's going to be now it's going to be Buzz's turn.
Yeah, now it's my turn to put the heat on. So yes, if you've not seen this before, this is the quick question quarter, spelt with all Q's, not K's, because we don't roll like that. And we just ask our guests a bunch of rapid fire questions, starting off with some very, very simple stuff, getting a little more in depth as we go further on, just so that we can get to know our guests a little better and all of you can get to know our guests a little better. So let's get stuck into it. What was the first instrument that you learned to play? Not counting recorder in fucking primary school.
Yeah, we get that one all the time.
Well, I brought the recorder along with me later on in life, didn't I?
You did.
Oh, gosh, probably the keyboard.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. We get a nice one there. What was the first album that you ever purchased?
Ooh. I was a huge fan of Ugly Kid Joe when I was a kid. No. Does your parents buying it for you count, or is
Let's-
it? It's,
The way we consider this question is not like your parents buying you Wiggles albums and shit, but like the first time where you're like, you started to develop an interest in
want that
music
one.
and you were like, I want that album.
it was definitely Ugly Kid Joe, America's Least Wanted.
Okay, nice.
That's
What
a
was the
first.
what was the first live concert that you attended?
Oh, that's an interesting one because before Parkley Markets even opened, it was just a shell, and they had all the shops around the outside, and they had there's like shows going on in the middle, and it was John Farnham. It was John Farnham.
Wow. Okay.
at
Parkley
Very
Market.
nice.
Wow.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. Can't
That's
get much
solid
better
AF.
than good old Farnham.
Yeah.
What's an instrument you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet?
Ooh. The harmonica. I mean, I know how to. I played that song in the Tractor of Death with the harmonica, right? But
Yeah.
I don't really know how to play the harmonica. Which is I just made up that tune by myself. I don't
Yeah.
actually know how to play the harmonica. So
Okay.
I'd like to actually learn how
Get
to
one,
play
man.
the
I've got one.
harmonica.
They're so cheap.
Nice.
get one.
All right.
Let's get one in C.
I've got like 2 or 3 of them.
Spray.
Okay, so I'll need you to make 2 choices for this one, because this question assumes that our guest is in an active band. So, given you've had a couple of different bands over the years, I'll let you pick whichever band of yours you want to do this. But if you could pick one big band or artist to open a show for, this is living or dead, active or not, any period in their thing. If you could pick one big band or artist to open a show for, who would it be? And which of your bands would you have perform the show?
It would have been amazing to be Do I Scare Ya as like a core unit because we've always talked about maybe doing that. But if Green Jelly were active, I'd love to do a show.
Oh, yes.
Do you know
Yes,
I put on?
that would be perfect pairing.
I put on the Three Little Pigs green jelly for my kids, and now they just want to watch it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
That has
That's
so many funny songs, and like a lot of their stuff was an inspiration for me growing up. So I loved Green Jelly when I was young, and they're one of the bands that kind of go together with Do I Scare You, So
Yeah. That'd be an incredible pairing,
That would
man.
be.
Yeah.
I would pay
All
to
right.
see
Who is a band or artist that you're listening to right now that you believe is underrated and deserves more attention?
Oh, I'm listening to a lot of weird stuff right now. Like at work, I go through the motions of listening to punk metal, but also like my R&B roots. Like I went and because like I grew up with sisters who loved all that kind of stuff, and that's such a hard question. I don't know. I can't really answer that. I can tell you what I am listening to, and I'm loving fucking Electric Callboy. My kids even love that shit. So
Awesome. Yeah.
Electric
All right, a bit of
Callboy.
love for Electric Callboy.
Yeah,
That's great. That's great.
I preferred it when they were called Eskimo Callboy.
Electro metal synth.
That's great.
I'm
That's
loving
great.
that.
Man, you should check out the new Enter Shikari then. Enter Shikari have come back with a new album, and it is phenomenal.
Wicked. All right. What is something people may be surprised to learn about you?
Oh, God. I think there's a lot of stuff people don't know.
Could be big or small. It doesn't matter.
I'm a huge fan of Kingston Biscuits.
All right. There we go. That counts. I think we already know the answer to this one, but what is the cringiest band name or song name that you've ever been involved with?
Oh, Demelik.
Yeah, easy as. What is your most controversial
What
musical
does
opinion?
Malik even mean?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
While Kyle's looking that up, what is your most controversial musical opinion?
Oh. Oh. You know what? I'm probably going to get into a lot of trouble for this, but elitists should just shut up.
No, that's fair enough. I agree with you. I don't give a. Honestly, the more
You know,
mad
music's
elitists,
music, whether you like it or not, and
yeah,
just your opinion fucking sucks.
the more mad elitists get about a band, the more I want to listen to that band.
Yeah.
And
Make it
last
popular.
one here, if you could talk to young Buzz, if you could somehow bend the laws of space and time and talk to young Buzz and give your younger self one piece of music related advice, what would it be?
You're a fucking crazy bastard. Keep doing that shit, and yeah, you'll produce some great shit.
Love that. Love that. That's awesome.
I
Well,
love
thank
it.
you very much. That was the quick question quarter with Q's, not K's. And if Kyle is ready,
I am, but
let's
first,
yes.
the meaning of the word melik is
Is it
it's meant to be sung. It's
Oh.
of ancient. It's a ancient of an ancient Greek lyric or poem meant to be sung. A melik is an ancient Greek poem or lyric that is meant to be sung. And I'm assuming the D came because me and Karen used to play and drop D.
We're dumb. We're
Disastrous.
dingbat.
Douchebags.
See, the D could be anything. D.
Whoa, you can sing into the D.
Radio. Kyle,
So,
when you're ready,
Let's
please hit the thing.
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Fuck off, files. This is my favorite.
All right. So, fuck off files time. We love this shit. We love this shit. So, once again, if this is your first time watching the podcast, this is the fuck off files, where we basically say to our lovely guests, we go, hey, if you could somehow collect all the Infinity Stones like Thanos and just snap your fingers and fuck 3 things off out of the music industry, business, scene, whatever, what would they be and why? They can be as big or small as you like, but we would like some sort of reasoning behind them. So, Buzz, my friend, without further ado, what is the first thing that you would fuck off out of the music industry and why?
ticket scamming. You know, people get like or scalping.
Yeah.
Yes,
Fuck
absolutely.
that shit up. We don't need it. People are missing out and are paying dollars they don't need to be paying because of fucking assholes.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one, 100%. And especially now, I think with Ticket Tech, Ticketmaster, Live Nation, whoever the fuck it is, fucking around with dynamic pricing, that makes it even worse because, you know, scalpers utilizing bot systems to try and flood the site with purchases only creates a higher perceived demand, which pushes the ticket prices up. The actual normal ticket prices up even higher for people that just want to buy a ticket, which just makes it that much harder again. So, 100%, no arguments from me there. That can fuck right off. What's number 2?
Oh,
Because look, let's be real. You've touched almost
everything.
every side. You've kind of had your finger in almost every side of the music industry here. So I feel like more than most of our guests, you're probably uniquely equipped to have some, you know,
Strong opinions.
some strong opinions on some of this stuff.
yeah. I'm thinking online boosting, paying for those ads and stuff. I don't particularly like that because I'm seeing a whole bunch of content that I don't want to see, anyway.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
if you like the people, you follow them, you get all their content anyway. So
Oh,
stop
you don't though.
boosting-
Yeah, no.
You don't though. So many like Facebook and Instagram, like they don't, because they fucking work with the algorithm now, so they don't
Mm.
show you
You got to be
the post,
pumping
like-
videos.
You have to be, if you
I'm
don't
getting
interact
a
with
whole
the
bunch of
page,
shit I don't want to see.
if you don't interact with the page, you don't see their posts because they took it away. They changed it from like, if you follow a page, you'll see all of their posts, to if you're not interacting with a page, you don't see the posts as much. Or, if the page isn't posting constantly within the perfect terms of the algorithm that Facebook doesn't tell us what they are, then, they won't show these things to all of their fans. And that's because they want to, it's just because Facebook became such a big platform that they created this problem for them out of nowhere that they then sold people the solution to.
Mm.
So for me, I mean, if that's your thing, that's cool. But I think the fact that so many bands do it because they kind of have to,
Mm.
otherwise
Get
their
rid of
stuff
the
just doesn't get
algorithm?
seen. Like you could
Yeah.
look, you can
Get
put
rid
what
of
you
the
want in there. Like I
algorithm's
think
good.
that's something that I stand by. I'm like, just if you like a page, you should see all of their posts. If
Exactly.
you're seeing too many posts from a page, then you have the option to go and unfollow it. Like that's
Yeah.
that simple, right? Like
Have you seen that new
Facebook
thing now
treats
on
people
Facebook?
like they're
They've got
fucking
that thing
stupid.
where, are you
I
happy
guess that's what
seeing
I'm
this
saying
content?
though.
Yeah.
Because you're not seeing the stuff you want to see, and
I
I
get a whole
feel
bunch
like
of
we
random
should see
shit that
more
I
of
don't
that.
want to see,
Yeah.
and then I see it.
And suggested posts now as well. I'm just like, I could kind of put up with suggested posts, but when my friends are sharing, like my friends have a lot of the same interests as me, they're sharing posts. That's probably stuff I'm going to be interested in.
That's the
That's
stuff
like,
you want to see, right?
what? Yeah, like
Not the
why are
other
you?
shit that is getting in the way. That's what I'm
Yeah,
getting at, and
yeah,
that bothers me.
I've
yeah.
noticed one particular artist in Queensland. I'm not going to name them. I have been sent some of their stuff. It's not exactly my niche, and I'm not about to go criticizing anyone for their art that they're bringing out.
Mhm.
It's not my space. I just, yeah, whatever. But I've been seeing so many of their ads, and they've obviously paid for them because they're coming up before my videos and stuff like that that I'm watching. And it's actually getting to the stage where it's annoying.
Mm.
Because yes, I do follow this person because hey, they're in the music scene, they're in the art, but I'm obviously not gonna. It's not my niche, and 100%, I could not agree with you more. It is everywhere, and the stuff I want to see, what bands are doing, I'm not seeing it because they're not paying for it.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's what I'm
it
talking
just
about.
sucks. Yeah, it sucks that's that's the way that social media has just set itself up. They said that there was a problem that wasn't really there, so they changed how they were doing things so they could sell us the solution to a problem that they created for us. And it's just one of those things where social media has morphed into such a monster that's so entrenched in every aspect of so many people's lives that bands can't get by without a social media presence these days. It's not possible. And
It's not right either.
the fact that bands have to basically become content creators and learn how the algorithm works and do all of that simply to try and get their music out there. Like, can you imagine what these people would be creating if they didn't have to fuck around with wasting time and energy on that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let these people just do their fucking thing. Don't make them jump through these hoops.
Musicians are musicians. They're meant to create sound, not meant to create video. That's why we hire video directors to do our music videos. Because we have no interest in creating fucking videos. Some people do, and they get into that later on. But for the most part, musicians wish to create music and sound, not videos.
Yeah. All right. And what's number 3, mate? What's number 3 for the fuck off files?
Oh. Inflation.
All right. Yep. Yep. No,
It's like,
I agree.
come on.
I
Get
agree because you know
fucking
what?
done.
Because you know what? All the band's costs are increasing for everything. Yet cunts want to complain if you increase the ticket price to the show by $5.
Yeah,
They want to
exactly.
complain. They want to complain that you're charging $30 for a T-shirt. It's like, mate, these cost us $25 to get made each.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
I don't know what you fucking want from us. Like, we, the only like it's so hard. Like, we've looked at so many merch options for Skunkbone lately, and like literally had to do the maths on them to go, is it even viable for us? Because we're like, it'd be really cool to have these. It'd be really cool to do this for merch. But like, look, we were coming into winter like last year as it was coming into winter. Well, I say as it was coming into it, like before, because we knew we had to kind of get the lead time on them and stuff. We were like, should we do hoodies? And then we looked at it, and I'm like, okay, what would I be willing to pay for a hoodie from a local band? And it was like, we kind of came with the figure around like 50, maybe $60 at a stretch if it's really good. Like, that's pushing it.
Yeah.
I think 60 is pushing it for a local band. Maybe this is just because that's what I'm thinking from 15 years ago, right? Maybe my head's just stuck in the past with that. But I'm like, if I'm paying $50 for a hoodie, like, it has to be that's a rare occasion, right? Like, for a local band's thing. And especially in Queensland, because look, it just doesn't get that fucking cold for the most part in Queensland. But we thought, we'll check it out, and like we couldn't get them printed for less than $55.
Wow.
And like, we couldn't get them
Yeah.
printed and sent out to us. By the time you factor in GST and shipping and all that shit, and it was like, came out like $55 per unit, and we would have had to spend like 2.5, 3 grand just to get a decent batch of them with a range of sizes. And we're not putting that much in just to make $5 per hoodie.
Nah.
It's just getting ridiculous, and it's getting to the point where nothing's going to be viable.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's
that's why
going to be pointless.
like that's why we go, okay, well, what else have we got? And we had to look at things like we did the beanies.
Beanies were
like,
great, man. I saw so
the
many
beanies are
Skunkbone
good.
beanies
Lots of
at-
people like the beanies.
At Gymna.
Like $15 for a beanie. Like $15 is kind of an acceptable price for a band's beanie. All right, cool. What else can we do? The keyring bottle openers were great, because that's like because key-rings, it's like, who actually buys a keyring from a band now? But if it's a keyring and a bottle opener, you can kind of, it's a double purpose thing. You can charge people, and those kind of worked out okay too. But
You could do gloves.
and even
you could do
stickers,
nice little woolen gloves with Skunkbone.
even stickers, like to get stickers as a band now, it's they're costing you like $1 a sticker, and stickers are usually a giveaway thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, if you but you want to so you have to get a lot of stickers because you're giving them away. So then you have to pay $1,000 that you're just literally going to give away for nothing. So it's and yeah, like people complaining about the ticket prices for venues for shows, like, and I mean, again, I'm in the mindset of 15 years ago where like, $20 was expensive. If a show was $20, you're like, oh, I don't
want to be
you know,
good.
Yeah, it'd be one of you. How many bands am I getting? Only 3 bands for $20. Fuck off! I'm not paying that. Now you get like, but the fact is, venues aren't paying bands, or it's become venues are trying to keep their costs down as well, so they're paying the bands less, and that means that the ticket prices really haven't come up, and or if and it's just so fucking hard for bands to make a decent amount of money these days. Unless they've got a lot of money that they're putting into it to invest. But, you need that money to make money out of it.
That's it.
It's almost getting to
Which
the
is-
stage where every band needs to get they need to figure out how to somehow monetize it in some sort of way where you can basically go get an ABN, turn the band into a brand if you're willing to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
how, I mean, that's
trying
how
to
we
cut-
treat Skunkbone to
Yeah.
a point. Like, we've got an ABN and we try and make decisions with like a cost benefit analysis and look at this stuff. Yes, we have fun making the music, but financially we have to look at it like a business, right?
Yeah, you do.
Because you just, otherwise you're just going to pump. I mean, I've done the thing where we just pump money into it like it's a financial black hole. I've done that. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that again. And like, okay, yeah, like last, like Skunk Bone, I think our first year, because we put a lot of money into stuff and we didn't get a whole lot of money back from stuff. All right, cool. That's just the first year. We're establishing a lot of things. But, like I don't want to do this, what I did with Tensions Arise, where
You're hemorrhaging money.
it just kind of became, it was literally a financial black hole for me at the end of the day. And that's not a criticism of Tensions Arise or the other people in the band or anything that we did. That's just a statement of facts. And I'm getting too old for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. But it's, it's yeah. Okay, so it's ticket scalpers, social media bullshit, and inflation. Absolutely, three very very worthy contenders there.
That last one was a good one. The inflation one was a good one because
Yeah.
really, I don't think that's anything that we've really actually spoken about on the podcast before about how much it affects.
No.
We've never touched on it. I think in 50 plus episodes, we've actually never talked about how inflation is affected the bands
It's
in the long
affecting
run.
it a lot.
I've never actually thought about it like that because, like, you think, especially now, if you want to be ethical with your merchandise and stuff like that, you got to start thinking outside the box. You can't really you got to think about where you're buying it, who's making it. Like, there's a whole myriad of things that you have to take into consideration if you want to do this properly, especially now.
Yeah, and I mean, look, there's ways around. It's like, if you've got thousands of dollars to do this, you can buy your own t-shirt press. Right? Like, I know that's what the guys in Darkstell did. Like, they sort of they organized their own t-shirt press, and that's one of the reasons they had so much merch options.
Yeah, look,
because they were
don't
like
get
they
me
had
wrong,
their own, and they were constantly printing their own.
I love me a normal press, but there ain't nothing better than a screen print. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, I was mucking around. My daughter's birthday's coming up, so I'm like, get her something to be creative. Man, they got screen printing kits so cheap now. Like, if you could actually take the time, you could seriously do a lot of stuff. Like, everything is accessible now through internet, and people just trying to make things so simple for people. But once again, it comes into that thing. When does the band get time to create music? If they're spending all this fucking inane time with social media, merchandise, blah, 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 it takes away from that fucking one key thing that they're meant to do, and that's create music.
And bands are expected to do it all now, unfortunately. Which is why, like I said, if you've got money and you can just pay other people to do all that shit for you, it's you got to spend money to make money, as they say. And unfortunately, the same is true in just about any business. If you can afford to pay all this money and put yourself out there in the right places, then you're much more likely to get a return on that. If you've got the money, you can pay these, bands that are a few tiers up from you to play at the show that you're booking and put yourself in the main support slot so that you start building a lot of, crossover with their fans and booking these bigger name venues and, paying your way onto tours and festivals if those are opportunities that come your way, to do that. And, you can be very, very, fucking loose with your merch and giving a lot of it away or selling it for very cheap to try and encourage people to buy it. And if you're very smart and very lucky, then you can still have a lot of success without doing that. But it's a lot more challenging to reach those points without the money to get you there. So,
and especially being in a heavy metal band or a rock band or something like that, it's negative funds.
Yeah. Yep. And
Especially
especially in
in metal.
Australia, especially in metal, especially in Australia, where everything is just so spread out. It's not like you can play a show and then drive, an hour or 2 hours to the next town where you're playing the next night.
Doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that over here, unfortunately.
No.
But
one quick question for Buzz though: being in the music scene for so long and now getting asked to do this fucking thing and stuff like that, what would you say has been the biggest change in the music in the Australian heavy metal industry in say the last 10 years? Because from what I remember, it was like, obviously we had like, you know, like Acid Nymph and Red Bee and a couple of us sort of bands that used to sort of do shows and stuff together, and there was a lot of love between those bands. But at the
Yeah,
same
look,
time, there was a lot of toxicity amongst other bands.
I think it's just, the times change, man. And, when we had the lockout laws and then COVID came thing, it just threw a spanner in everything. And like, I don't know, it's just, you just have to learn to adapt to the changes, I guess. And, some people were able to pick up where they left off, whereas some, they weren't, unfortunately. So I don't know. I think it's a time thing. Times change, people grow.
Yeah, I think one of the saddest things for me, one of the Sydney bands that got lost after COVID was Red Sea.
Oh, Red Bee.
That was really sad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was really sad to see. Like, I was gutted when that happened. I managed to get an interview with them before they sort of called it quits. But when you hear shit like that happen and such talent,
Yeah.
it was devastating.
People want to try new things.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
Erica,
just saying, as a
how-
fan, it's
of,
devastating. It's completely
good,
selfish. But that was a
She-
big thing for
you know.
Erica as well. You got to think like it was 2 years of downtime. Erica obviously, and a lot of musicians in general use live shows and their music as a therapy sort of thing. And then when that got taken away, especially the live show aspect, people had to find bliss in new things. And I guess they found out that they didn't really need it all along, in the weirdest sense of a way. Not to say that
They were able to find a lot of fulfillment from other
a
activities.
new bliss.
Yeah, but man, like Buzz, dude, I don't know if you've been going to many shows sort of since things have been coming back since COVID, but like let me tell you, at least up here in Brisbane,
Oh, it's different.
the young bands coming up right now, they know so much more about how the business works than any of us ever did. Like when we were starting out, we had no fucking, like we had these dreams of all this shit. We had no clue how it really worked. They've fucking got their heads on straight now. Like these, and like I'm out there playing shows with Skunkbone, and we got bands that have people in them that were born after I started playing music. And A, that makes me feel incredibly fucking old. But B, when I see these people that are like 20 years old and they already know how so much of the industry works, like these bands are fucking going places, dude. Let me tell you, there's definitely like,
Or they're not, because
we
they
know
too much.
alternative music kind of goes. It always happens with music. There's peaks and troughs and everything, and I really think, like, if what I've been seeing in a lot of the younger up and coming bands in Brisbane, if that's even close to indicative of the quality of bands and the quality of people that are going to be coming up through heavy music in Australia over the next 10, 15, 20 years, fuck, it's in good hands.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
I'm so excited for all these fucking bands.
dude. Pity Vincent up in Queensland at the moment. I caught them in Gymna. They are something special. Like a lot of these young kids, I guess is what we'll call them, because we're old farts now. Dude, because they have the internet at their fingertips, they have just like deep dived into like the history of some of this music, and like, mad shout out to Connor from Chamberlain. Love that bloke to death. But I would never expect a 20-year-old to have this mad Beatles tattoo. Just like it, what we think would never sort of like it's just holding on true. And the one constant, like you said at the beginning of the podcast, is that bands, and like real bands, they last forever.
Yeah.
They're legendary, like you.
So, they're able to bring that.
Well, good on them. We need some more of this. It's definitely needed after everything we've been through in the past few years.
Yeah,
because
the new blood, the new blood's strong. The new blood is strong, and obviously, not every band is going to make it. That's fine, but there's some bands here, and I'm like, I am like 100% confident in the depths of my soul that I'm gonna be able to, one day see these bands performing on huge stages and be like, I was there at the fucking start. Like I saw these guys for $15 at a 100-person venue, you know, at fucking way back in the day, right? And and it's gonna be amazing. Like there's bands that are like they're gonna make an impact, and they really are like, and they're gonna be the bands leaving their mark on the future of of Australian heavy music for sure. Anyway,
Well, I'm definitely keen to see what's happening on Sunday because, I'm just going from some visual aspects of what I've seen online, and I'm
yeah,
hopeful some of these
well,
bands will
I'm
pull
going to
out.
attempt to drag me ass out there. I'm going to make a special effort.
yeah. Well, with that, let's bring it back around again to that. So, if you're not doing anything on Sunday, and you're in Sydney, head down to Crowbar 4 p.m. for Wacken Metal Battle final for Australia and New Zealand for 2023. The winner gets to go and represent Australia/New Zealand at Wacken Music Festival in Germany. Get down there, say hi to Buzz, say hi to Kyle when you see him there. Buy Kyle a beer.
Oh,
Get
love
Buzz
You
a
can buy
water.
me one too, but it'll have to be a little sneaky one.
yeah.
Just get Buzz a water. We'll say get Buzz a water.
As long as it's clear, no one will know.
But yeah, shake on down to Wacken Metal Festival. Mate, I hope it goes fucking amazing for you on Sunday. I hope you have
It
a great
should
time.
be. I mean, considering the
Good
caliber
luck
of
to all the bands. Oh, absolutely. Good luck to all the bands. You know, I kind of got my fingers crossed for Deprivation, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna put that on you. But I'd good luck to those boys and everyone that's performing down there. It'll be.
I'm going to be completely honest, and
Absolutely.
I mean, all
I
the
would expect
judges are
nothing
gonna
less
have
from you.
all the judges are going to have different points of view too. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting because we've got Doug and Amabel from Hardline Media. They're one of the judges as well, and we have the Paul from the manager of Utopia. He's heading down to judge.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay, I'm definitely going to be heading down.
Wonderful.
So it's going to be a good night, and
That's going to be good. Very,
So
very
that
good.
starts, doors open at 4 p.m. for that one. Is there a cover charge?
I think so, but I couldn't tell you what it is. But I'll send you the link. I'll post
Okay,
you the
and
link.
we'll post that.
Tickets
on
are $30.
There you go.
Tickets are
$30 for the
There you go.
tickets. You get, I think it's it's like 6 bands.
7.
7.
Yep,
There
7
you
bands.
go. That's great value, people.
So, absolutely, it is. That's incredible. And these bands have already been through the fire. Like they've been tested. These are some of the best bands that Australia and New Zealand has to offer in terms of heavy music. So you don't want to miss that one if you're going to be down there in Sydney. Thank you again, mate, for coming on. This has been awesome to chat and catch up.
Not a
So
problem.
it's so
it's-
good to see you doing well, man.
I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to catch up in person when I was down in Sydney during like
Hey,
detentions
man,
rehearsals.
I'm
and
going to
stuff
be
like
up
that.
there at the end of the year.
Drop me a message, dude. Drop me a message.
Yeah.
Let me know. We'll tee something
I'm
up for
arranging
sure.
a barbecue with Zach, so come on over, come around.
Dude, fuck yeah, absolutely, I will. That'll be great.
Right.
And so yeah, thank you very much for that. Absolute big legend that is Buzz. We're going to be playing one of the "Do I Scare You" videos to wrap up the podcast shortly. Before we do go, and watching, thank you to all of our subscribers. We have an awesome one lined up for next week. We have, those of you who've been paying attention to the channel, you know we did a reaction to the new song from Disgust that they dropped recently. Never Have I Ever, still on rotation. Amazing fucking song. Love it to death. So next week we have Disgust coming on to talk all about that song and
I'm pretty sure we have
what
my
they
buddy
got coming
Kyle
up.
on.
So, sorry?
Pretty sure Kyle's coming on. It'll be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one, and we got some other really, really good guests coming in the works too. We also have maybe a special show for the 1 year anniversary of the podcast coming up too. We're not sure what we're doing. We're gonna try and get something special for that though. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you again to the absolute legend that is Buzz. I will see you at the end of the year, Buzz. Kyle will see you on the weekend.
I will.
Everyone else, get down to that show at the Crowbar on the weekend. And just other than that, everyone, as we all know, we've talked about how hard it's been for a lot of people through COVID and everything. So just, COVID's still around. Even though they say the pandemic's over, we're still a lot of people dealing with a lot of shit, a lot of fallout from everything. So the world's getting crazier by the day. Let's just try and be kind to each other because, if everyone's a little bit more kind, the world would be a much better place. Thank you very much. We're going to leave you guys with the Do I Scare You song. Is it Llama Llama Ding Dong? Is that the one we've got?
Llama Ding Dong.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Mate, Buzz, anytime. Anytime. You're more than welcome. See you all next Thursday, people.
Bye.
Peace.